He was the heart of Heartland, the reason many of us fell in love with the show in the first place. And now, just when we thought his story had ended forever, whispers from the set suggest otherwise. Heartland Season 19 might just rewrite everything we believed about Ty Borden's journey. Leaked plot details, trailer breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes clues are pointing to one stunning revelation. Ty's presence isn't over. His spirit, his memories, and perhaps more, are about to shake the very foundation of Heartland Ranch. Buckle up, because this is the chapter no one saw coming. For years, Heartland fans carried a quiet hope that somehow Ty Borden would return, not just in name or memory, but in a way that truly honored his legacy. When Season 14 took the devastating turn that saw Ty's character die from a gunshot wound, the fandom was shattered. It felt like the end of an era, a goodbye that came too soon. But now, with the release of the Season 19 trailer and a series of leaked details from close to the production, a different kind of story is beginning to take shape. One that suggests Ty's journey is far from over. The trailer doesn't scream answers. Instead, it whispers. Moments of silence, Amy standing alone in the pasture, looking at a distance only she can see, the soft sound of a heartbeat over fading horse hooves, and then a flash, a man's silhouette, a voice. It's not much, but it's enough. Enough to get every fan asking the same question. Is Ty coming back? Of course, we're not talking about a full resurrection. The show has always respected the emotional realism of its storytelling, but what if Ty's return isn't physical, but emotional, spiritual, and psychological? That's exactly what the leaks suggest. According to insiders, Season 19 is diving deep into the inner world of Amy Fleming, a woman who has carried the weight of grief, single motherhood, and the legacy of love. This season, she's ready to confront it all. What makes this return even more powerful is how it's being handled. Sources say Graham Wardle, who played Ty, has agreed to appear in a limited but emotionally critical capacity. We're talking dream sequences, flashbacks, even hallucinations that blur the lines between memory and reality. And it's not just about Amy remembering Ty, it's about Amy being changed by those memories, challenged by them, and possibly being guided by them. Imagine a moment where Amy is faced with a difficult horse, one whose pain mirrors her own. She can't reach it, not the way she used to. And then, in a quiet moment, she hears his voice, sees him standing beside her like he used to, offering no instruction, just presence. These aren't just scenes for drama. They're emotional checkpoints. Ty's return is designed not to undo his death, but to help complete Amy's healing. But what's truly jaw-dropping is that Ty's influence won't just affect Amy. It will ripple through the entire cast. From Jack, who still mourns Ty as a son, to Lindy, who's beginning to ask more questions about the father she barely knew, the presence of Ty will awaken emotions long buried. Lou, too, will revisit her guilt. Was there more she could have done? And Tim? He'll face his past regrets, especially how late he was to accept Ty as family. There's also a deeper mystery teased in the leaks. Amy finds a letter. Not just any letter, but one written by Ty before his death. A letter he never meant to hide, but one that got lost in the chaos of that tragic night. Its contents are unknown for now, but whatever is written in it promises to reshape Amy's understanding of Ty's final days. Was he in pain? Did he have fears? Hopes for her? For Lindy? This letter may become the emotional compass of the entire season. Through it, Amy could unlock a side of Ty we've never seen before. A man who knew his time might be short, but still believed in the life they were building. A man who left behind more than just memories. He left behind a map for how to keep going. So yes, Ty Borden's journey is unfolding, not as a miracle return from the dead, but as a soulful continuation of his story. Through flashbacks, letters, dreams, and emotional echoes, Heartland is giving us what we didn't dare ask for: closure, connection, and one last ride with the man who changed everything. The discovery of Ty's lost letter isn't just a moment. It's the emotional ignition of Amy's most personal journey yet. As Season 19 unfolds, Amy is caught between two powerful forces: the memory of a love that once gave her everything, and the reality of a life that keeps demanding more from her. This season isn't just about remembering Ty. It's about how his absence continues to shape the choices Amy makes every single day. Amy has always been strong. Since she was a teenager, She's been healing broken horses, holding her family together, and silently carrying her grief. But this season, for the first time, Amy allows herself to stop running from the past. Ty's letter becomes a mirror, one that reflects all the parts of herself she's hidden from, even the ones that hurt. As she reads his words, line by line, we watch her transform. Because this isn't just Ty's goodbye, it's his final gift, the permission to live fully, love bravely, and let go gently. And yet, letting go has never been harder. Amy's relationship with Nathan becomes more complicated than ever. He's steady, kind, and undeniably drawn to her. Their bond has been growing for 2 seasons now, but Ty's emotional return shakes everything. Suddenly, Amy isn't sure if she's ready to move forward. Can she truly love someone new, while pieces of her heart still belong to someone who's gone? The audience feels every heartbeat of this inner conflict. It's not about drama, it's about truth. Raw, painful truth. Nathan, to his credit, remains patient. But even he begins to feel the weight of Ty's shadow. In one emotionally tense scene, based on leaked descriptions, Nathan finds the letter. Not out of curiosity, but because Amy leaves it behind accidentally. What he reads changes him. He realizes just how deep Ty's roots are in Amy's soul. It's a humbling, painful realization. He loves her, but he knows he might never have all of her. Meanwhile, Amy is drawn back to the ring, the pasture, and the horses that once gave her a purpose. This season, she starts working with a wild Mustang. Unbreakable, aggressive, and closed off. The horse becomes a living metaphor for Amy herself. The more she tries to help it, the more she realizes she's fighting her own pain. The Mustang reminds her of the early days with Ty, when both of them were struggling, healing, and leaning on each other to get through. In a haunting scene teased in the trailer, Amy dreams of Ty standing at the edge of the pasture, watching the Mustang. He doesn't speak, he just watches. And when she turns to ask him what it means, he's gone. These dream sequences aren't just for emotion, they're guideposts. Amy begins to understand that Ty's presence isn't there to hold her back, but to push her forward. To remind her that healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means carrying love in a new way. Outside the ring, the Fleming Bartlett family is dealing with its own struggles. Lou's financial situation grows worse, and pressure builds on everyone. Amy feels responsible. She wants to help but doesn't know how. That's when she finds something else tucked inside Ty's letter. A small sketch drawn in Ty's rough handwriting. It's a plan, an idea he had for expanding the ranch into an equine therapy center, something Amy once dreamed of but shelved after his death. The sketch reignites a fire inside her. Could this be their shared legacy? Suddenly, Amy has a purpose again. The wild Mustang, the letter, the therapy center, they're not random, they're connected. And just like she once healed horses to heal herself, Amy realizes this new mission might help her step into the next chapter. Not alone, but with Ty's spirit guiding every step. But not everyone supports the idea. Tim believes it's too risky financially. Lou is unsure the family can afford another project. Even Jack, usually the emotional compass, warns Amy not to pour herself into something that could bring more pain. But Amy is firm. For the first time in years, she's not just surviving, she's inspired. And through all of it, Lindy begins asking harder questions. What was Daddy like? Why can't I remember him? Do you still love him more than anything? These innocent questions become emotional landmines for Amy, but she doesn't avoid them. She sits down with her daughter and tells her the truth. That love never dies. It just changes shape. That Ty will always be a part of them, but there's room for new love too. It's in these moments, simple, quiet, and real, that Heartland Season 19 finds its soul again. Through Amy's struggle, the audience reconnects with what the show has always been about: resilience, love, and the invisible thread that connects us to those we've lost. Ty Borden may no longer walk the ranch in the flesh, but this season proves one thing beyond doubt. His journey is far from over, and neither is Amy's. As Heartland Season 19 digs deeper into Ty Borden's lingering presence, the entire ranch begins to shift in subtle but powerful ways. His absence is no longer just a quiet sorrow in the background. It's becoming a living part of the ranch's daily rhythm. From Amy to Jack, from Lou to Lindy, and even the animals Ty once cared for, his memory is triggering changes in everyone. This is not just Amy's story anymore. This is a full circle moment for the Heartland family. And with every new day, the legacy Ty left behind begins to reshape their path forward. Jack, the silent rock of the family, begins to open up in ways we haven't seen in years. A scene hinted at in leaked production notes describes him walking into Ty's old workshop, something he's avoided ever since Ty passed. Dust covers the tools. The wood smells like memory. And as Jack stands there, he sees a photo of Ty and Amy tacked to the wall. He doesn't cry. Jack rarely does. But he sits down and begins to fix one of Ty's unfinished projects. It's a symbolic act. But for Jack, it's more. It's a way of keeping Ty's hands moving, even if only through his own. The ranch may still be standing, but Jack knows the future now depends on keeping Ty's vision alive. Lou, on the other hand, is drowning in real-world problems. Property taxes are rising, equipment is aging, bills are piling up, and the idea of turning Heartland into an equine therapy center based on Ty's old sketches seems like a beautiful dream, but one she can't afford to risk. Yet when Amy shows her the letter and Ty's notes, something softens. Lou sees not just a memory, but a plan, a future that Ty believed in. And slowly, she begins to reconsider her stance. She agrees to help Amy on one condition. They take it step by step, with a full budget and community support. This leads to a surprising turn. Amy and Lou hosting a community fundraiser event, inviting past clients, neighbors, and ranchers from nearby towns. It becomes a celebration of Heartland's roots and of Ty's legacy. Old faces return, clients whose horses Ty once healed, families who remember how he used to work late just to help one more animal. They share stories, pictures, and memories, turning the ranch into a mosaic of Ty's impact. Amy listens, tears in her eyes, realizing that Ty's influence went far beyond her heart. It reached an entire community. Meanwhile, little Lindy continues to process her father's memory in her own innocent way. She begins drawing pictures of Ty based only on stories and the few photos she's seen. She asks Amy to tell her more bedtime stories about when Daddy was here. It's bittersweet, and Amy handles it with grace. But then something unexpected happens. Lindy begins talking about dreams. Dreams where she sees her father, where he teaches her how to ride, or tells her to be strong like Mommy. Are they just dreams? Or is it something more? The show doesn't answer this directly, leaving the mystery open for interpretation. But for Amy, it's both comforting and haunting. Maybe Ty is watching over them. Maybe love like his never truly disappears. And then there's Nathan. His character becomes more complex in season 19, as he begins to realize that his growing love for Amy may be competing with a ghost he can't fight. He doesn't ask her to forget Ty, but he does begin to question his place in her life. At one point, Amy pulls away emotionally, needing space to think. Nathan respects it, but the distance between them grows. And when he finally confronts her, it's not with anger, but with heartbreaking honesty. Do you see a future with me, Amy? Or am I just the safe choice in a world that got too painful? His question lingers like smoke. Amy, torn between honoring her past and embracing the future, admits the truth. She doesn't have all the answers, but she knows she's not ready to give up either. And this sets the tone for their relationship. No fairy tale, no promises, just two people trying to build something honest, slowly, from the wreckage of pain. But drama is never far in Heartland. As Amy moves forward with plans to build the therapy center, resistance grows from the community. Some think it's a waste of land. Others feel the project is just Amy's emotional coping mechanism. And worst of all, a rival ranch, owned by Nathan's family, is revealed to have plans for expanding into the same market. This creates a rift, not just between Amy and Nathan, but between Heartland and its neighbors. It's no longer just personal. It's business, family, and legacy colliding all at once. Katie, meanwhile, begins to find her voice. She's stepping into young adulthood and questioning everything around her. Does she want to spend her life on the ranch, or does she dream of something bigger? Inspired by Amy's courage and Ty's legacy, Katie begins volunteering at a local animal rescue center. There, she meets someone who changes her perspective, a teenage boy who shares her love for animals and challenges her to think differently about her future. Their connection is fresh, uncertain, and full of potential. But more importantly, it reflects the themes Heartland has always explored: identity, choice, and growth. As the season progresses, one thing becomes clear. Ty Borden's journey isn't just about him, it's about how he changed everyone around him. His memory is no longer a weight, it's a guide. Every character, in their own way, begins to see a path forward shaped by Ty's love, his ideas, and his belief in second chances. And while Amy still dreams of him, still feels his presence on quiet mornings when the mist rolls across the pasture, she no longer feels stuck. For the first time in years, she feels like she's exactly where she needs to be. Healing, building, and moving forward, not away from Ty, but with him in every step. The final few episodes promise high stakes and emotional payoffs. The therapy center, the future of the ranch, and Amy's decision about Nathan, all of it is building towards something big. But what's most powerful is this. Ty Borden may have died, but in season 19, his journey is far from finished. It lives on through the people he loved, the dreams he had, and the home that refuses to forget him. Heartland. Season 19 is not just a season, it's a reckoning. Every storyline, every emotional thread, every unresolved question is beginning to converge. At the center of it all is Ty Borden, not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and symbolically. His journey, which once ended so abruptly, is now unfolding in ways no one expected. And in this final stretch of the season, we witness something rare. Healing that doesn't erase the past, but honors it while bravely stepping into the unknown. Amy stands at a crossroads, personally, professionally, and emotionally. The therapy center, inspired by Ty's old journals and drawings, is nearly ready. Volunteers have joined in. Horses with complex trauma cases have been arriving. And Amy is once again doing what she does best, communicating with horses that others have given up on. Each session, each breakthrough, feels like a whisper from Ty. You were meant for this. But Amy also knows that this project is not just hers. It belongs to Ty too. And that realization brings her to a critical decision. She renames the center, the Borden Healing Barn. The announcement sends ripples through the Heartland family and community. Some are moved, some are reminded of their own grief. And some, especially those who believe Amy should move on from the past, are quietly uncomfortable. But Amy no longer seeks approval. She's finally found her balance between remembering Ty and making space for her future. And that future may still include Nathan, or it may not. Nathan's character arc reaches its most vulnerable point yet. After weeks of emotional tension and complicated family pressure, he decides to pull away, giving Amy the space she asked for. But he leaves her with one final question. If you ever feel ready, I'll be waiting at the north fence. No pressure, no questions, just us. It's a callback to where they first bonded over a rescued foal, and it becomes a metaphor for possibility. Open, uncertain, but full of hope. Meanwhile, Lou's storyline escalates into a political and moral battle. Her attempt to use her former political ties to support the therapy center backfires when local officials accuse her of favoritism. She faces a community hearing where she must defend not just her family, but her own intentions. With Katie watching from the back row, Lou realizes this is about more than just Heartland. It's about showing her daughter what strength and integrity look like under fire. She wins the hearing, not with power, but with vulnerability, sharing how Ty's loss shook their family and why the center is not a vanity project, but a legacy of healing. The room falls silent, and Lou, once again, becomes a leader, not because she fought hard, but because she stood honest. Jack, ever the heart of the ranch, begins mentoring a young ranch hand who reminds him of Ty. This parallel is deliberate, and it's deeply emotional. Jack teaches the boy not just how to work the land, but how to respect it. And in doing so, Jack rediscovers his purpose. He's not just a guardian of the past, he's a bridge to the future. In one of the most tender moments of the season, he places a hand on Amy's shoulder and says, "You and Ty built something stronger than loss. Now build it into something that lasts." Katie continues to bloom. Her new friendship at the animal rescue grows into a true partnership. They start a small social media channel documenting rescued animals' stories, giving a voice to those who can't speak, just like Amy always did. Through this journey, Katie begins to find her own identity, not as someone living in her family's shadow, but as a young woman carving her path with compassion and creativity. She decides to spend one more year at Heartland before applying to university, knowing that her roots will always be there, no matter where she goes. But it's Lindy who delivers the most unexpected twist of all. As the season finale approaches, she begins asking deeper questions about life, about death, and about why people leave. Amy, unsure how to answer, turns to a box she's kept hidden for years, Ty's final letter, written to Lindy before she was born. Amy never opened it, but now she reads it aloud to her daughter. The words are simple, heartfelt, and full of love. If you're reading this, you're growing up in a world I didn't get to see. But you're part of me, Lindy. You always will be. Be kind, be strong, and trust your mother. She's the bravest person I ever knew. Tears flow, silence lingers, and in that quiet moment, everything shifts. Ty's journey, once cut short, feels complete. Not because he returned, but because he never really left. In the final scenes, Amy walks the perimeter of the ranch at sunrise. The morning light hits the fields just right. Horses gallop in the distance. She stops at the north fence. Nathan isn't there, but she's not disappointed. Instead, she smiles, placing her hand gently on the post. This is her life now, not waiting for someone to save her, not haunted by grief, but grounded in purpose. She turns and walks back toward the barn, the Borden Healing Barn, where a new horse awaits, a new challenge, a new beginning. Season 19 ends not with a grand event or cliffhanger, but with quiet strength. The message is clear. Healing is not a destination. It's a journey. And while Ty Borden's physical story may be over, his spirit rides on in every hoofbeat, every tear, every lesson, and every second chance. This is Heartland at its best. Emotional, rooted, honest. A story not just about love lost, but love carried forward into every new sunrise over that golden Canadian soil. Let me know if you'd like a dramatic closing narration, video description, or a powerful teaser line to end your video.